Hi guys, Ultimate Fishing Addict here with you. First of all guys, before I start this video, I want to apologize to you for not uploading in the last 7 or 8 days. I just haven't had nothing to really put up for you. I was trying to get some fishing content to put up for you, but I've fished in some really cold weather and blustery, windy conditions. Went out 4 different times, absolutely did not get a bite, didn't get a fish. So I'm pretty sure my fishing is over for this season until we get some spring weather, or a little bit warmer weather after next year, because today we actually got some snow falling, so it's our first measurable snow of any kind on the ground, so it's really kind of finally put me in the house. But you know, if we would happen to hit a warm day, I'll be out there, don't worry about that, and if I can catch some, I'll put it on video and get it out to you guys. But yeah, it's kind of an update on my channel, guys. You know, I'm still here, haven't went anywhere, still trying to make content for you, but I've just got to switch over to some other kinds of videos to give you something else to look at. I'm going to start doing some reel reviews and some rod reviews and different things, and maybe showing you some of my tackle and different things during this time when I can't fish. Alright guys, let's get into this. This is the Ardent Denny Brauer Pro Series reel. It's a nice looking reel. Got a nice blue finish on it. I really like that. And I promised you earlier this spring when I bought the first one of these, I own 2 of them now, that after I had a chance to use it, I would put a review out for you and give you my, you know, lowdown, honest opinion on this reel. To be honest with you, I was a little skeptical because of the price point. It's really at a really low end of the price point. And for reels out there, baitcasters out there on the market, so you know, your first reaction is to say, okay, you know, if you're paying that little amount for it, it can't be much quality there. That was my first skeptic opinion when I first seen the reel online, and when it got here to the house, I was impressed. I really liked the way it looked. Felt like it was pretty good construction, fairly light reel and everything, so I thought, oh, okay, well, let's give this a try. But I promised you guys that I would not do a review on it or until I had a chance to use it and really put it through the paces, and I've had it about 3.5 months now, and it's been one of my daily reels. So anyway guys, this is a 7:0 to 1 gear ratio, and this particular one I got in the right-handed model. I like to reel mine right-handed, even though I'm right-handed. But I got this one in the right-hand model. And, you know, guys, overall, this is a pretty good quality reel. I was just really impressed with this reel after I had put it through the paces. Now, when I first got it, I'll point out a couple of things to you that I was not happy about. And, Ardent, if you're watching this, you can do better on this. Now this is probably going to be hard to see because this camera does not do good close-ups, but in here you have your line guide, obviously, and back here you have your line guide adjustment knob, which adjusts it onto that worm gear that it runs back and forth on. When I got this reel, I couldn't even figure. I thought, man, I'm going to have to send this back because the line guide doesn't even want to move. It just hops and jumps, and it wouldn't even go across there smoothly. Well, after doing some investigation, after using it a couple times and being really unhappy with it, I realized that straight out of the factory, straight out of the package, they had not tightened up or even adjusted this line guide control knob. It was just basically just sitting there loose on top of the adjustment knob. Was just sitting there loose on there. So once I adjusted that down, line guide moved just fine. Now when I first got this, also another thing that Ardent can do better out of the factory and out of the package on this, they can put some grease on these. These are not well greased or well oiled. And, you know, be honest with you, you should not have to grease and oil your reel right out of the package. That's all there is to it. It should be ready to go, in my opinion. So when I first started using this, the first couple of days, like I said, I wasn't happy with it at all. I couldn't get any casting distance out of it, and it was making a rattling noise and as it was casting, and I thought, nah, this isn't going to work at all. So there again, taking it apart the first night after I got back home with it, I realized that it was just bone dry. There was no grease on it. There was no oil down in the bearings. It was just a bone dry, like they just shipped it, tucked it in a package, didn't oil it, didn't grease it. So I slapped a bunch of oil, a bunch of grease on it, absolutely quieted down. It doesn't make a sound now, just normal casting whine when it goes out. And it comes back in absolutely silent. There's no rattle, no nothing in it. So it did quiet down, and I'm happy with that now. But those were the two, probably, if there was cons to it, like I said, out of the factory, they could have tightened up that line guide knob. It was absolutely flopping loose, and I'll have to say, I got two of these, and both of them were the same way out from the factory. They had the line guide control knobs were just sitting there loose. They had not been adjusted whatsoever or tightened down. So if you don't know to check that or don't know that's there, you're going to think this reel is really poor quality because your line guide is just going to jump, hop, and may not even move. And like I said, they were dry on oil and grease. Both of them out of the package were the same way. So I know it wasn't just this one that I got. This was the first one that I picked up back in probably June. And then, you know, like I say, the third thing, guys, was probably the casting distance. I was getting horrible casting distance out of this, and I kept thinking, man, I know I've got this set up right. The only thing that I wasn't sure of was the braking system on this, because this does not have an external fine-tuning braking knob on it. Inside, and I'll take the cover off here in a minute and show you that, there are 6 pins that you adjust in or out to control the braking system on this. You know, every reel's different. You know, some reels, the brakes have to be tightened up quite a bit, or you're going to get a lot of backlash, and you're not, you know, you're just going to have trouble with it. Other ones, you know, you got to back off most of your brake, or you're not going to get any casting distance, and you're just not going to be able to do anything when it comes to getting, you know, it fine-tuned in like you want it. So I fooled with it the first few times out and realized that out of the 6 pins on this, the way I cast, the way I fish, as hard as I throw, because I do a lot of power fishing, I power fish a lot of baits, a lot of crankbaits, a lot of deep, medium divers, things of this nature, square bills, you know, I do a lot of jerkbait fishing, a lot of spinnerbait, a lot of chatterbait. I realized that for this particular reel, out of the 6 pins, I only wanted 1 engaged, and then it will cast as far as you need it to, as far as you want it to. After you figure that out and get your brakes fine-tuned in, which fine-tuning, you know, that's part of anything that you buy, any reel that you buy, you got to figure out that particular company's way of adjusting their reel, because I had not worked with Ardent. You know, I had just came on board with Ardent. I had not experienced Ardent reels. This was my first one. And I thought, you know, it just took me a few days to get things fine-tuned in on this. The braking system was the last thing that I had to figure out. Once I got that figured out, I was completely happy with this. This, you know, this like any other reel. You got your cast control knob over here. It's got a nice engraved, like a knurled, I think they call it, finish for your grip. And then you have your, you know, your drag system. I believe this particular one has 13 pounds of drag, maximum drag. The grips on this were okay, but I have bigger fingers, and I don't have a lot of feeling in the end of my fingers because of arthritis and neuropathy. So I usually need something a little bit bigger that I can hold on to. So most of my reels, I go ahead and put these reel grips on. They're called Reel Grip, realgrip.com. They're a great product. You put them on there, it gives you some more size, and it gives you something more to hold on to. So I put a set of those on there, and that was perfect. Overall, this reel's fairly light. It's 6.4, I believe it is, on the weight. So it doesn't add a lot of extra weight if you're using a pretty light rod. And I've got this one paired up with one of my McCain high performance rods. This one here happened to be on my Flippin' Wizard. This particular one is, let's see, can't remember right off my head how long this one is. This one is the 7'6". That's the 7'6" Flippin' Wizard, and it's a medium heavy. Yeah, medium heavy with a moderate action. So it's fairly stiff, and I use it for my basically my flipping and punching. And that was the reel that I was looking for this, and I thought, okay, here I am buying a lower end price reel, putting on a $200 rod. That really don't make a lot of sense, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. I'm new with Ardent. I want to find something, right off the bat here that I'm happy about, and the quality of this reel is overall, I don't have any complaints for it. After I got the brake adjusted, I tightened down the line guide, and I put some oil and grease in there. This thing performs flawless. I've been using it as one of my everyday reels I have two of these, like I said. I have one on another rod that I use almost every single day that I go out. It's one of my 3 or 4 that I carry rigged up, and I'm completely happy with this reel. For the price point of right around $100, you can't beat it. And I usually post a coupon code at 25% off. You can get 25% off of that retail price, and this is going to drop that rod down into the down into the 80-some dollars. Don't quote me on a price on that, but you get your 25% off that 100, and I believe it's 100 now, or 109. You have to go on ardentoutdoors.com, and you can find this reel on there. It's the Denny Brauer Pro Series. It's his signature series reel. But overall, guys, this thing has just performed great. I've pulled some big fish out of some pretty heavy cover with it, and not had any problem with the drag slipping or anything like that. Like I said, it's a 7-0 to 1, so you got fairly high speed ratio on this one. I especially like it. I use it for some top water. I usually, like I said, I've got this one set up on my flipping and punching rod, and for the price point, I can't beat it. I mean, I've looked around, and really, for just a good quality, lower end reel that, everyday guy on a budget can go out there and get, I say go get you one of these. Now, one thing, if you ever get a reel from Ardent and you have any trouble with it, all you have to do is contact them. They've got an online contact form on their website. They've got a number you can call them. Their customer service is tremendous. If you need anything, they're willing to figure out how to help you. And if you have a problem with a product, they're going to do something to make it good, or make it right, or to fix it for you, or something to keep you as a customer. Ardent's customer service is top of the line. Not just because I'm pro-staffed by them am I saying, oh, this and that. I told you guys that I would give you an honest review on this, and I told you some of the things I didn't like about it, and I've told you things, it's a smooth, good casting reel, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion, and I'm also giving you my honest opinion of their customer service skill people. They've got some tremendous customer service people. If you, like I said, if you ever have a problem with a product, they're going to make it right for you. You can send it back. A lot of these reels, and you have to look when you go to buy it there on their website, most of their Baitcasters and spinning reels have a 3-year warranty on them. It's one of the longest warranties in the business. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to make this too much longer, but the overall, like I said, for a what I would consider a lower end budget price point reel, I recommend this reel. Go get you one. If you have around $100 and you want a good solid everyday reel, this is a good reel for what it is. I've been happy with it. I've used it, like I said. The other reel that's identical to this is one of my everyday reels, and I've had no problem with it. Just day after day after day, it just performs fine. It's got a smooth retrieve. You can get some really nice casting distance out of it after you get your brakes. And you know, the brakes and the cast control knob have to be adjusted to how you fish. I can't sit here all day long and tell you, okay, I did this and that, and I put so many pins in and out. But it has to be adjusted to how you fish. You know, I may throw harder than you. I may fight a fish different than you. I have it on a different rod than you do. Every rod performs different. So, you know, guys, you set this up however you feel like that it's best to be set up for you, and I think you're going to be happy with this reel. And like I said, guys, I'll show you the braking system on this. You just slide and pop the side cover off. It comes right off. Inside there you have your brass braking system. And then inside here, and I did some close-up shots, and I'm going to put them in right now. And these pins, you either pull them out to set them on for the brake, or you push them in to make them turn off. And now on this particular reel, guys, I have been running just one pin out. I found that when I was using this reel and testing it over the summer, that to get your maximum casting distance out of this, you wanted to have just one of the brakes turned on. That was my best, what I got the best results at. 2 is okay. 1 is the best for me, the way I cast and the distance that I was trying to achieve with this. So that's your braking system, guys. It's underneath that cover. You do not have an external brake control knob or a fine-tuning knob like a lot of them do. A lot of them have the pins inside, and then they'll have the fine-tuning knob on the outside of that cover. On this one here, you just have the 6 pins inside. If you don't throw quite as hard as I do, or if you throw harder than I do, you may have to set this different. But those are real easy. You just take your thumbnail, you can pop them in or out. Now, what I do, because I only use one pin, every couple of days going out, I just pop that cover off and I change to a different pin so that I'm not putting too much wear on any of those pins in there. Because, you know, if I sat here for 3 or 4 months, 6 months, a year and use the same pin, I'm obviously going to get quite a bit of wear in that one pin. So I try every couple of days, pop that cover up and just change up to rotate the 6 pins inside there, since I'm only using the one. But guys, alright guys, you know, this is getting a little bit too long, but I wanted to give you a good overview of this reel and kind of show it to you and give you my opinion, tell you some things that I didn't like about it at first and everything. So, you know, guys, you can pick this reel up at ardentoutdoors.com, and I'll have that down there in the description, and I'm going to have that 25% off coupon code that you can use there till the end of December, or the end of this month. And I'm sure next year they'll come up with another coupon code that I can put out with you guys, but that one just is good until the end of December, and it'll be there in the description with the website. And you know, go check them out. They got a lot of other nice reels, and I'm going to do a review on a couple others that I have from one particular one that I have from them here in a couple of days, and I'll put that out to you guys and give you my opinion. I've used it for several months now, and it's just performed great. But go check out their line of baitcasters. They have a nice line of spinning rods. They've got some new saltwater gear. They've got some new crappie gear. So, you know, go check out Ardent. Yeah, if you haven't never thought about their products or seen their products, it'd be somebody to consider if you're looking for good budget-priced reels. And another video I'm going to try to get out to you guys here in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to do a kind of a rod and reel video for you on budget-minded. So some of you guys that don't like me, who don't have a lot of money to put into fishing and can't pull it out of their budget, you know, you can get some nice rods and reels for real budget price. And I've been using a lot of that stuff all summer, and I'll put that out to you guys to kind of give you some ideas of what you could go do if you need to fish on a budget. I'm sure you know a lot of you guys are like me. You know, you don't have a lot of money to put into this, and I was kind of starting from scratch. Before I went on disability and retired, I had worked so many years I had no time to fish, and so I was kind of starting fresh a couple of years ago. But I'll try to get that video out to you guys on the budget-minded what to get, or what some ideas to get on some rods and reels here in the next couple of weeks. I'll be looking for that video. Alright guys, Ultimate Fishing Addict, and I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button, you know, hit that like button. Tell me that you like what I'm doing. You got any comments, constructive criticism, go ahead and put that in the comment section. I'm always well open to that. And appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you next time.